Which one of you did it? Which one of you is responsible? Because I'm going to find out. I want to thank you, though. Unlike the last person that did something to me, making me buy one of the worst gaming mouses I have ever experienced, this time you made me watch one of the greatest TV shows I have ever experienced. It was on my live stream. The person was nagging to me. It's like, you need to watch The Boys. Watch The Boys. And I'm like, dude, like the title, The Boys. It's kind of LGBT-ish, don't you think? It's like, do I really need to watch that? And apparently, it's a good thing that I did. You know, today my fiance got in a car crash. Nothing serious. I'll probably talk about it on my live stream, show you some pictures. Not her fault. Someone else ran into her. But these moments in life made you realize that you need to spend more time with that person. You know? So I'm like, okay, well, let's watch a TV show together. And, you know, The Boys was suggested to me. I thought she would like it. And it was great. It was one of the best shows that I have seen. There's two things that make me really like it. The first one is this whole Brightburn type of superhero. If you're not familiar with the movie, you should also watch that. But it shows how it would be like if superheroes were bad. And you come to realize that superheroes are actually these Lovecraftian entities that have a lot of potential for horror. I mean, how do you stop a Superman? You know, if you're just a normal average Joe. How do you stop the Flash if you're just the average Joe? Well, what were to happen if superheroes existed in our world? And, you know, they are quite terrifying. In fact, like, and I don't know why, but villains are less terrifying than superheroes. Like, to me, the Joker is less terrifying than an evil Superman. And I think it's because of the facade, the charisma that superheroes put out. Like, you know that the Joker is bad and you're trying to run away from him, but like, if a superhero is charismatic and is smiling in the cameras and all the public love him, who's going to believe you that he did something bad to you? And this is what this TV show actually tries to look into. I'm going to give you like a very small spoiler just to get you intrigued. This guy, you know, he is planning to move with his girlfriend, and as he kisses her, the equivalent of the Flash just runs into his girlfriend and obliterates her. And this guy is like this renowned superhero. Everyone likes him. You know, he's got like this whole PR agency to back him up. And how is this guy going to get justice now? And it's really interesting. And what I really love about it is that this TV show does politics right. You know, when the left says that everything is political, and I think like people cannot articulate what the problem with politics in comic books is. Now I can articulate it. Like, now I can make it so obviously clear on how to do politics right versus how to do politics wrong. Politics wrong is when you're being preachy. When you're talking about things that the overwhelming audience is unable to relate to it. You know, you're describing certain situations, certain scenarios that the random person picking up your comic book and reading about it cannot empathize with. That's how you do politics wrong. And you're also being preachy. You're telling people like, no, this is the correct way that you should behave. This is the correct way you should interpret things. Politics done right leaves things open for interpretation. But not only that, they're not preachy. And there are things that are relatable. And honestly, like, I would say that this TV show is a big criticism for corporate culture. Like, literally everything that's wrong with corporate culture, you can find it in this TV show. From the fake smiles to the bullshit, you know, corporate script that people have to read, to the way that the marketing team is treated with a lot more prestige and a lot better than the actual people doing the work at a company. You know, like people at the company that are doing the work, they're at the bottom and the marketing team is somewhere above them. And what they say, the grunts have to do. The chain of command in a corporation and how soulless it can become. And, you know, like it is so beautifully made that any person working at a company is going to relate to it. It's like, yeah, you know, this happened to me. Yeah, I have an HR lady like this character and she's a twat. Just like this person. Yeah, I know a guy from marketing that doesn't understand my line of work at all, and they're just trying to push the company line on me, and the bosses, they're siding with the marketing, even though I'm the one doing all the work. Like, you relate with that. And I don't know, man, like it's so difficult to the point where if I was an American, I don't think I would have made it. I probably would be unemployed. I cannot lie like they're lying in this movie. Like it shows the story of this innocent superhero that just wants to save people, and they're going into this corporation, and they have to lie. They have to go against their better judgment. They have to go against their moral character. They have to constantly pretend that they're someone they're not. And it's all of these facades and the fake smiles, and like all of this is just making me puke. It's absolutely making me hurl, because I know that this is real life. Like, I know that this is the experience a lot of people get. And I realize that none of the movies that are coming out are even criticizing this. When is the last movie that you saw the evil HR lady, or the evil legal team, or the evil marketing? Yeah, sure, they might criticize capitalism as a whole, or they might, criticize the system, or blah, blah, blah. But they don't actually criticize corporations. And I think it's intentional. I legitimately think that progressivism, or even socialism, are controlled oppositions by companies. You see, most companies, they don't want people to be loyal to the state. They want people to be loyal to the brand. They want the people that are working at the corporation to be loyal to the corporations and not be loyal to something else like marriage or patriotism or whatever. And this is why you're not going to see much criticism of corporations, because the corporations are good. They're moral entities. Like, don't you know that Apple supports LGBT? Don't you know that Blizzard supports trans rights? No, they're moral entities that are very good, and they're positive, and they're nice. There's nothing to hate about corporations. And I think like TV shows like this really make you think. They really make you start questioning just where all of this evilness is coming from. And I genuinely think like a lot of evil now is coming from corporations. And there's even like this episode that shows how religion can be corporatized as well. It's not about, God anymore. It's about how you can, like these televangelists, that are, some of them do have the same behavior like corporate does. And you go and you give them money so they can tell you how to reach heaven, and you give them money so they can tell you how to obtain salvation, and all of this nonsense. And people have a facade for the public and a different facade for private. And it's kind of cool because in this TV show, the superheroes are very similar to the Justice League. Like, you got the version of the Superman, you got the version of the Wonder Woman, the Flash, and I really like it. Especially because it shows exactly how I would imagine if superheroes existed today. Like, they would all be corporate, and it wouldn't be about saving the world or helping people. It would all be about selling merchandise and selling toys and being idols so that the public can look at it and see a commercial. And that's really great. And they also like made deals with politicians. It's like, oh, it looks like the crime rate in Baltimore is a little bit up. Pay us $200 million per year, and we're going to lend you this superhero so he can go in Baltimore. And look, what was it? The Anubian prince. Yeah, I mean, he's part of the ethnical makeup of Baltimore. Like, people can relate with him. Like, it was so corporate. It's like, look, the hashtags that he's getting and blah, blah, blah. My God, like, it was just exactly how I would imagine if superheroes existed. They would probably form this corporation, and then they would be beholden, I guess, by the corporate apparatus, which is like an octopus, just growing and growing and very authoritarian-like. And it also tries to criticize how companies make backroom deals with politicians and how they try to lobby in order to push for legislation. And my favorite of all is how they can take a tragedy and instantly capitalize on it in order to push an agenda. Like that, I don't know, like, man, how the person managed to push the script and they actually went with it. But yeah, I mean, it contradicts a lot of narratives you see on television. And more importantly, is not the narratives you see, but the narratives you don't see that I like. But yeah, so let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the comment section, and I'm going to go watch another episode now because I'm binge watching.